Hello friends, and welcome to my sketchbook. Creating a finished painting from life relies on two essential elements, a detailed drawing and an accurate color study. I've recorded one of my recent color studies as a time-lapse. Please enjoy, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, let's get started. For this color study, I'm using an 8x10 canvas board, toned with raw umber, thinned with mineral spirits. You'll want to let this dry overnight before doing your study. First, the sketch. Using raw umber, thinned with mineral spirits, establish the height and then the overall size. Next, begin to divide this shape by blocking in salient features like the face, shoulders, neckline, and hips. Then block in the background shapes. The paints I have on my palette are titanium white, Winsor yellow, yellow ochre, Scarlet lake, permanent rose, raw umber, burnt umber, ivory black, and cobalt blue. Color mixing. I'm starting with the lightest element, the dress, and mixing for 3 values, highlight, mid-tone, and shadow. In order to key the painting, I now move to the darkest element, the hair, and mix for a light and a shadow tone. During this entire process, check often by holding the palette knife with the paint mixture in your line of sight with the model. Next, mix the mid-tone for the skin. This process is just as important as putting paint on the canvas, so take your time to get those mixtures as accurate as you can. Break time. It's good to keep a relaxed atmosphere while working with models. Remember to have care for their comfort during your sessions. Now lay in some background tones to help relate the figure to the surroundings. This also helps with keying and judging color harmonies and the correct chroma. Once the average tones in the major areas are established, lay in secondary tones starting with the shadows in the dress. Here I'm using purple, mixed from titanium white, permanent rose, and cobalt blue, adding some raw umber or burnt umber to lower the chroma. You'll notice that the light outdoors has changed from a misty, overcast early morning light, with strongest illumination on the model's face coming from her left, to now being much sunnier and her right side receiving more light as this side was facing east. This is a good example of why it is important to mix in advance and establish large shapes first. This way, you have the power to change or to keep your colors without losing track of the overall large shapes. We're now moving on to highlights on the face, arms, legs. Pay attention to areas where the skin tone gets warmer or cooler, such as the knuckles, the ears, and the feet. Adding deeper shadows in a few key spots really helps anchor the figure in the background. From here, it is a process of refining. You can further define the figure by considering the planes which are in the light, in mid-tone, and in shadow. But your main goal is recording color relationships, noting hue, value, and chroma. A few pointers to remember. Since pure white paint can never be as bright as what we see in reality, for example the light on white fabric, you have to key your painting to the limitations of the materials and decide how you would like to organize your values. Our eyes can detect more subtle color relationships from life than what the camera can record. So this type of study is your best opportunity for exploring the richness of color that you want in your final painting. You can really capture a lot of color information in a short time if you are willing to focus on accurate mixing and working from the large areas first, then refining as you go. It is also very helpful to jot down a few notes on your mixing formulas and save samples of each of your mixtures from the session. This will illuminate the mystery of having to remember them when you move on to the final canvas. Thank you all for watching, and please check out my other videos about drawing and painting. If you have questions about this demo or requests for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. Happy painting!